An object is thrown upwards with an initial velocity of 4 meters per second. What is the maximum height the object reaches? So to do this problem, we first need to understand the motion of the object. So I'm going to draw a picture. So we have our ball going up in the air and it's coming back down. So our initial velocity is pointing upwards. It's why the ball is going against gravity. Our gravity is pulling down. So since they're in the opposite direction, when we do our calculations, we need to make our gravity negative. The other thing to know is at the peak of the motion, right before it starts to come back down, the ball kind of freezes in midair. So that means that our final velocity at the peak, oh goodness. Final velocity, oh my goodness, is equal to 0. So we have the ball going up. The initial velocity is making it go upwards. At the peak, our final velocity is 0 because it's going to stop right before it comes back down. And our gravity is going to be negative because it's in the opposite direction of our initial velocity. So those are going to help us solve the problem. So let's get my highlighter out and then we can get this thing going. So it's thrown upwards. So we know that's going to be a free fall problem because it's going in the air. Our initial velocity is 4 meters per second and we're looking for the height. So let's write down everything we know. Let's do blue. Our initial velocity is 4 meters per second. We're looking for the height or the distance. Because it's a free fall problem, we know that we're going to have acceleration and that's our gravity. And since it's in the opposite direction, it's got to be negative. The other thing we know is that our final velocity at the peak is going to be 0. So if we look at our formulas, we will be using the formula that matches all of our givens, which is Vf squared equals Vi squared plus 2AD. And now we just plug in and solve. So we have 0 squared is equal to 4 squared plus 2 times negative 9.81 times our distance. So we have 0 is equal to 16 plus math time with my calculator. 19.62 D, subtract 16. So negative 6. Oh shoot, that is a negative. Ah! Negative 16 equals negative 19.62 D divide. I don't feel like writing that out. D is equal to 16 divided by 19.62 is 0.81 meters. Ta-da!